some trouble in relationships, that's what we're all about tonight. And if you're watching me live or on the replay, thank you for being here. So you're probably familiar with the emotion code. The book is right behind me. It's a system that was developed by Dr. Bradley Nelson. He's a retired holistic chiropractor that discovered this incredible connection between our emotions and our future and our current event. And so by having these emotions that are not fully processed from some previous event, it can cause an obstacle in our daily life or us achieving our goals. And one of the more unique aspects of this is when we're talking about a heart wall. And a heart wall is something that is pretty much exactly what it sounds like. It is a way for us to initially try to self-protect by kind of shoring ourselves up. Our subconscious wants to protect our emotions and protect our psyche. So it kind of builds this wall of defense, which eventually can be this huge barrier to our fulfilling future relationships, whether they be personal relationships or work relationships, or even just the relationship that we have with ourselves. So tonight we're going to be talking about Dottie and her work relationship. And so for people that are able to join me live, thanks for being here. If you are live, I'm trying to click some buttons here and they don't always want to work. So if you are watching live and you are able to volunteer, I would love to have you do so. So let me know. You could just very simply type me in the comments and we will connect from there. Let me just type in a message here. And I'm going to stop this crawler for 1 second. And I want to be able to show what a comment will look like. So there it is. If you type me, I'll know you're here. I'd love to know where you are visiting from and what kind of a heart wall you might be having. And so sometimes we have heart walls not only with established relationships, so you can have, kind of the love of your life or your twin, and suddenly something happens and, you just have this feeling and you can feel it. It's like, whoa, wait a minute, I'm never going to let that happen again, or they can't do this again or that again. And if they do it again, then suddenly you have a huge reaction. And probably a bigger reaction than what the situation actually calls for. So you do it. Other people do it to you. So by having a heart wall session and alleviating this heart wall, you're able to not be so triggered and be able to have just a more fulfilling relationship. And again, whether that's a personal relationship, it could be, some deep love affair that you're having. It can be with a neighbor. It can be with a coworker. It can be quite seriously, even just with, the checker at the grocery store that you don't want to go into that aisle and you'll stand in a longer line or have some sort of issue with it just because for some reason that there was an event that just sort of rubbed you the wrong way and you just don't want to have to do it again. And then sometimes you have, some bigger kind of more self-explanatory events like a heartbreak. You say, okay, I got my heart broken this one time. I don't want to have to go through that sort of turmoil and sadness again. So therefore, I'm not going to get close to anybody again. I'm not going to let that happen to me. People have it with animals all the time. So they have a beloved pet that dies and they say, I'm never going to have another pet because I don't want to go through that hurt. Rather than allowing themselves to really be rewarded for the beautiful relationship that they did have, and allow themselves to have another really great relationship, whether it be with another person or with a pet. So relieving this heart wall is just such a burden that can come off of your psyche. It's really a tremendous thing. I don't remember if I said that I am Holly Pitus. I am a certified emotion code, body code practitioner, and you probably know that, though, because you found me here. So I'm glad that we're together. And tonight we're going to work with Dottie. And Dottie's got a heart wall. She has some work people, one in particular that she works with. And I'm just looking for my magnets here, and I've dropped them. So let me just reach them. Pardon me. Okay. I needed to have my magnets. They fell off my desk. And so just for a quick review, too, if you're not that familiar with the emotion code, it is really based on a system that it's working with our subconscious mind. And everything that we have ever encountered in the entirety of our life has been recorded. Our subconscious mind can work like a hard drive on our computer. So it doesn't matter if you're thinking about your computer, what site you've been to, what you've deleted, what you've put in a recycle bin, it's all still there. And it's running in the background somewhere. And if you happen to get a bug in your system, it can completely wreak havoc with all of the programs that you're trying to run. And that is what happens with these trapped emotions that we have. I'm going to show you the chart that I use as my basis. So this is the emotion code chart, and it's divided into columns and rows. What happens is that we have these emotions that get triggered for some reason, and we just didn't fully process them. So they keep kind of putting this bug in our system. And one of the beautiful things, there's many beautiful things about the emotion code system, but one of it that we're going to be able to demonstrate tonight is that we're able to work over a distance. It's very fast. It's very efficient. And, some people are freely able to talk about an event that happened that they know triggered them. Some people have some very traumatic events that have triggered them, whether it be an attack or some sort of abusive relationship or an accident that they were in, or they were the victim of some sort of crime, and they just don't want to have to relive that experience again. You don't have to. By using this emotion code system, I am able to ask a series of questions that don't have to reveal all of these underlying details. Now, for example, with Dottie, and it's a work relationship, she knows who we're going to be talking about, and we don't have to actually name that person out loud, because suppose she works with 5 people, she can identify those people for herself as, person number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. And as we are working together, I don't have to know the actual names. So it is, similar to having a phone call with a friend of yours, or with any person really. You have a number, you make a connection, you're able to talk about things, and it doesn't matter if you are in the same room or you are across the world. By using the emotion code system, it works on biometric physics perspective. And so by us connecting through an agreement together, we're able to get into the same vibration. And that is how it works. So I'm kind of whittling it down into a nutshell, but it's really an amazing system. So one of the first things that work when we're trying to work with energy is having our system fully supported. And so having some water available is a really important ingredient. So I'm going to take a drink of water. And I'm going to connect with Dottie. And Dottie and I have been connected before, so it happens pretty quickly. All right, so I'm connected with Dottie, and we're going to talk about work relationships. And there is this person, we're just going to be referring to him as C. And is there a heart wall? And yes. And what I'm doing is I'm using something called kinesthetic muscle testing. It works as the same premise as a lie detector would work, that we have physical reactions to things that are true and things that are false. So one of the things that happens with us is they call it muscle testing. It's just a really simple term. And there are many different ways to do the muscle testing. I am using something called a drawbridge. I'm using my hands. And so I'm holding my fingers like this. If I could have a feather basically in between my feathers, it could be pulled out. It's not a tight fit at all. But if I am asking something that's truthful, my hand becomes very firm. And if I am asking something that is not truthful, then it is very loose. So I'm using another finger that I'm saying, is it true? Yes. Is it false? So that's what I'm doing. I keep it down out of the camera view. But in case you're wondering how I'm getting these answers, this is how I'm getting them. All right. So now let me take another drink of water. And if you're willing to volunteer tonight, I suggest you get a drink of water. Let me know. It would be, again, very simple. You can let me know that you would volunteer. I need to have permission for us to actually connect. And we would be working either with you, possibly your child, if you are the legal guardian of your child, or a pet. And then we can be, then the other thing that you would identify is the person that you are having the difficulty with. And it can be something, it can be something that when your mother calls, you immediately get tense, or something that you have a coworker that you feel like they are not pulling their weight, and you get frustrated when you are in a team meeting with a person. Or it can be, again, anybody that you live with. You can even have heart walls with yourself. So you can let me know how it is. Once we make the introduction, then we can get started from there. All right, so getting back to Dottie and C. So yes, there is a heart wall. And is this something, is this a hidden heart wall? No, it's a heart wall. Dottie, is this your own heart wall, or did you get it from somebody else? No, so it is your own heart wall. And so is it in column, is it on the emotion code chart? Is it in column A or B even? Is it row 2, row 4, row 6, row 2? Is it, so as we're looking at the emotion code chart, I'm working in column B, and it's row 2. So is this a heart wall of failure, helplessness, hopelessness, lack of control, low self-esteem? So it's a heart wall of helplessness. And is this something that we're able to release? And is 3 swipes enough? Do we need to do any more? No. All right. So what we're doing, I'm going to use the magnets over my governing meridian. It's an acupuncture energy flow system. Well, it's based on the ancient technique of acupressure and acupuncture. So the governing meridian runs over the top of your head. And so I am releasing this heart wall of helplessness. And then I'm also going to release any vibrational resonance of this heart wall of helplessness. Okay, so did we release this heart wall of helplessness? Given your relationship with C, is there anything more that we need to release? No. All right. So when C comes in the room, you've gotten angry, cranky, fussy. Your anxiety is up. I'm getting a yes for all of these emotions. And is that still going to happen when he comes in the room? No. Do we have any other emotions that we can release regarding your relationship with C? And I'm getting a yes. Are they in the emotion code chart? Column A, column B, column A, is it even? 2, 4, 6, 2. Again, in row 2, is it anxiety, despair, disgust, nervousness, worry? It's anxiety. Is this your anxiety, Dottie? No. Is it something that you absorbed? Is it something that you inherited? Did you inherit it from your mom's side, from your dad's side? Did you inherit it? Yes, from your dad's side. Do we need to know anything more about it? No. So one of the things we inherit a lot more than just our eye color or hair color or some of our physical traits. We inherit a lot more from our ancestors than just our physical traits. And so Dottie has inherited some anxiety on her dad's side. And so we're going to release this anxiety and release any vibrational resonance of this inherited anxiety. All right. Let me see if, did we release it? No. Okay. So with the anxiety, with this inherited anxiety, how many swipes is it going to take to release it? Is it going to take more than 10, more than 20? So 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18. All right, so it's going to take 18 swipes to release this. And so this is just how the system works. So, releasing this inherited anxiety from your father's side. So we're releasing the inherited anxiety from your father's side and releasing this inherited anxiety from your father's side. All right. So then it's a good 18. Did we release it? Yes. Is there anything more on it? No. Do we need to release the vibrational resonance of it? Yes. So we're releasing the vibrational resonance of this inherited anxiety. Releasing the vibrational resonance of this inherited anxiety. Releasing the vibrational resonance of this inherited anxiety. All right. So one of the things that's interesting about doing this kind of work, and it doesn't matter if if it's me as a practitioner that is doing the work, or if it's the person that is receiving it, you actually have kind of a physical reaction to it. So it's like you can feel the energy around you moving. And so some people can get very tingly. A lot of people say that they feel lighter, like you can literally feel like this weight is being lifted off your shoulders. All right. And so with Dottie, did we release the anxiety? And I'm getting a yes. And so now when you encounter C, is there anything else that we need to release? No. Will you be able to greet C happily, comfortably, securely? Will you get cranky Will you get anxious? Will you be nervous? I'm getting a no on all of that. All right. So, will you have a positive working relationship? You're willing to do that? Yes. All right. Is there anything more we can do for you right now? No. All right. Then I will disconnect. So what I do is I just say, I'm disconnecting. Did I disconnect? Yes. So am I Holly? Yes. Am I Dottie? No. All right. So there we have it. That is a demonstration of releasing a heart wall. This is releasing a heart wall with a specific person. Sometimes you can have multiple levels of heart walls with different people. And by releasing it, it's just really a wonderful thing. You know, when you talk about heart wall, it sounds like it's heavy. It's a burden on your heart. It's a burden that is keeping you from really achieving the things that you want to achieve. And it's holding on to something that's really not servicing you any longer. And we're able to release this through doing emotion code and body code sessions. They can work very quickly by, and that's really the advantage of working with a practitioner, is that we can get to the heart of what we're working on, and the heart of identifying the emotions. I have my own chart right here. And this is just one of the charts that I work with. Emotion code and body, or the emotion code works with this chart. The body code has several more charts that target different areas. But when we're holding on to these emotions or getting attached to these emotions, it can happen through a real event that we have, or because we're dealing with our subconscious mind. Our subconscious doesn't really know if something is truly happening in real time, or if it's something that we're imagining or daydreaming about, nighttime dreaming. If it is something that we are fully understanding, or is it something that we have misunderstood? We misheard something that someone said, and it has just triggered a response that we're not ready to let go of. And sometimes, for example, with Dottie and inheriting this emotion of anxiety, again, how within your own family or within other people's families, they have traits that go through. So maybe they're quick to anger, or maybe they're all, super nice, or they're known to be really good cooks, or they, fancy dressers, anything like that. So we also inherit these personality traits, and we can inherit our emotional responses. Now, some people will say, that's how you're raised, and you adopt these just through the experience of being around them. But there are, if you talk to mothers, they'll say, no, this baby at a day or two old was exhibiting certain personality traits that only grow bigger as the person grows up. So that can be some fussiness. It can be a willingness to have a really happy, peaceful personality, anything. But what happens is, if we don't have it identified and we don't have the freedom from it, it can cause some difficulties for us. So I'll be able to report to you in the future how Dottie is doing with her coworker, and it'll be great to hear some good stories that, the coworker, because I know both of them, coworker doesn't have a problem with Dottie, but Dottie has this issue with a coworker, and it's unfounded from anything that anyone else can see. But we've released these feelings of helplessness and anxiety. And if you can just imagine, if you would be around a personality that you would for something that you can't quite identify. That person just makes you nervous and you feel anxious when you're around them, or you somehow feel like you are helpless when you're around them, that maybe they're doing things what you perceive to be better or faster or more efficiently than you, or for whatever reason it's making you feel like you are helpless. Of course you're going to be uncomfortable. And so that feeling might come from something very concrete that's happened, and it might just be something that you have this emotion and it's stuck and you don't know how to relieve it on your own. That's where the emotion code and the body code come in and are really, really helpful. So I want to thank you so much for joining me tonight, live or on the replay. And I am looking forward to being able to work with you one-on-one. I would love to be your emotion code, body code practitioner. This was just a quick demonstration of one itty bitty part of what the emotion code, body code system can do. And working one-on-one is just so much deeper. There's so many more things that we can target and work with. So I would love to have you connect with me. You found me here. You will find me through my let's see, I can show you right here. You're able to schedule an appointment. It's really easy to book online. We can work preferably by Zoom. I really like having the one-on-one relationship with you and being able to get the immediate feedback. And so being able to schedule a time for my more established clients, we can do some quicker things through email, but working one-on-one by phone or preferably through a Zoom appointment is really the best. So I am Holly Pitus. I look forward to being your emotion code practitioner. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you the next time. I'm here on Tuesday nights, 7 o'clock Eastern Time, and I look forward to working with you again. Take care.